Hey.
It was April 2023 when I first went up with Rich to see Phil, aka Mr. Bleak District Electric himself, up in the Peak District. And we spent a whole day with Phil getting to know him and him getting to know us, understanding his plans for the business, where he worked from, and going out and exploring some of his local area, which so much informs Bleak District Electric and the whole aesthetics of the brand. So in late March 2024, I went back up to see Phil with this time with my buddy Doug. And things have moved on quite a bit for Phil in the past 12 months, which is absolutely awesome to see. And I wanted to share that with you. You're going to see Phil in his new work environment, which is super exciting. You're going to hear all about Phil's plans for the rest of 2024. So if you're into effects pedals and you like seeing behind the scenes, and or you just want to champion an up and coming and growing UK pedal company, then stick around. This video is going to be for you.
Welcome to Bleak Towers. Here it is. Been here about 5 months or so, I think. This is going to be the studio eventually. It's still got a bit of work to do, as you can tell, but it's mainly that all the framework is in, apart from the door frames. Pardon? Yeah. Well, I've had a bit of help with some of the bigger bits from friends when they can. Yeah, so that's good. But it'll be really nice once it's done. I've made it so this wall isn't, well, they're all different lengths, but then this wall obviously isn't parallel to that one, so hopefully it'll help with some of the reflections and things when that happens. There's going to be a floating floor in here as well, but I'll get plenty of diffusers in there and stuff, so hopefully it'll be a nice place to record. Hopefully it'll be full of, nice drum kits and amplifiers and stuff. Yeah, coming in. This is the workshop. Yes, I mean, you can hear already in here it's much nicer because it's got the insulation sort of open, so it dampens it all down, so it's not as echoey. So this is where I do everything, really. I use it for everything. It's got where I build circuit boards, where I box everything up, pack it. This is my little sort of testing area. This is just like, it's plywood, and then if you design it, you can just, any timber yard will just cut it to the exact size that you want. It's just for fun, and I like the look of it, and I like having the little pedal board slot underneath. So that's just, it's got a vintage 12 in there at the moment, which is like a classic speaker that everyone uses. Yeah, new ideas but also I think just like getting some older ideas to the maximum they can be, really, like the Mirage and things, which is around somewhere. That's the old one. So that's soon, I think. I don't know, I haven't got an exact date yet. There's going to be the Terror, which is this. This is like, it's like the Landscraper that you had. Yeah. But it sort of I reduced the channel because the Landscraper was like 2 identical channels. I don't think people liked that concept, even though I did. The other thing I realized is that it didn't necessarily need, I wasn't using it maybe as 2 channels, maybe because I'm not in like a band anymore. Most of my recording is just recording, and like the bands I'm in are sort of recording bands, so the features like being able to switch it, I don't need to do that necessarily. So I thought but I really like the sound of it.
Function, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I really like the sound of the circuit. The other thing, I think some people found it a bit, because it let quite a lot of bottom end in, which a lot of drives don't do. They cut all that out first. So this has got like switchable, this weight control is actually a switch. So that switches the input capacitor, allowing like different levels of bass into the circuit. So if people want it a bit thinner, they can. So I like these kinds of things, it's not like infinite 3-band EQs and stuff, because just get lost in that sort of stuff. And for recording as well, it's nice to be able to set specific positions, and it's always just that every time. But it's got loads of gain. Sounds really nice. You get like a nice sound out of your amp, don't you? And then why would you want it? I don't like necessarily always like loads of EQ on a drive pedal, because if I've got a good sound coming out of my amp, I just want like the grit. And like I say, maybe you don't want it to be as fuzzy, so you can cut some of the bass out at the beginning, or you don't want it to be like quite as sharp, so tame a bit of that. I'll tell you what, that's totally different. These don't look very exciting. It's an EQ. Okay. So this is like a piece of outboard equipment. So I've been messing around with this for a bit. I wanted to make something really simple that can be really useful. So this the tremolo, the reverb tremolo.
Yeah.
This is from ages ago, so this is like the same.
That was one of your first builds, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So it's like the old. This is the old landscaper. These kind of graphics where I just had the top bit as a label, but then this, I think it had a little like the LFO was like clicking in it. But so it's always been in the back of my mind. I've always kept like tweaking it, and now again, like I was saying, it's just time to get these ideas out because this has been ages. It's reverb and tremolo, which have both got, I think, 3 controls each. Tap tempo for the tremolo though. Oh yeah, on off tap tempo, and then there's toggles. There'll be toggles on, yeah, like dry kill and stuff. But then I don't know if it's going to have some kind of other momentary switch or not. And the other thing is, then I was thinking about having, like I think I'd mentioned to you about having a gain on it. When if you have a gain, well, because it needs a volume anyway. Because I think tremolo you need a volume because sometimes it can sound like it's killing the volume a bit. So I thought if it's going to have a volume, might as well put a gain on it, and then you've got 8 controls on there, which is more than the tapescape. And the tapescape's about so you could get 8 on there, couldn't you? All the same, or pretty much all the same size. But I don't know if that's the way I want it to look. Could have it a bit cooler if it's a bit bigger. And I think with gain, tremolo, and reverb, it's like almost like a pedal board in a pedal. There's like a lot of
options. That's the synth.
Yeah, that's the box. It's actually going to be a new label. It's going to look like that though. Yeah, but it's got 3 oscillators, and they've each got their own LFOs, so you can it'll do like rhythmic stuff as well, patterns, but it'll do like droney. Yeah, I think you'd really like it.
Yeah. So we're talking about new version of Mirage.
Yeah.
You've got a reverb, tremolo,
yeah,
potentially drive.
Yeah.
You've got an EQ.
Yeah.
You've got a drone synth machine.
Yeah. There's going to be another synth as well. Oh, Terra. Yeah.
All for this year?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, easy peasy. Also, in the future, this potentially could be the control room if this ever wanted to be more of a studio kind of thing.
We'll come back next time and see the progress you've made.
Yeah, that'd be great.